Hello, it's Janet Stevely here. At this point, you've entered both income and expense data into the VR 1805 spreadsheet for Bridget, and you should be able to identify the net profit for both year one and year two. So here I'm at the profit and loss statement. If I scroll down to the bottom, you can see on line 43 the net profit for year one, and if I scroll on over a bit, I'll see the net profit for year two. So now you've been asked to look at cash flow. And if I scroll down to the cash flow statement, whoops, I want to look at the very bottom, the ending cash. And you'll see that based on these projections, it looks like Bridget is going to be cash flow negative in year one. You see negative numbers down here. And we know that being cash flow negative is bad because that means that she can't pay her bills. It's like her business checking account is overdrawn. So there might be different ways to deal with this. I mean, she might, for instance, seek additional resources like requesting that VR cover more of her expenses in year one, or maybe she could find a way to lower expenses, although her expenses are really quite low and she seems to really need the things listed there. Or perhaps trying to increase revenue. But one other way to deal with cash flow problems is to look at owner's draw, and that's what I wanted to show you here. Now, something unique about the VR 1805 spreadsheet is that it divides the annual net profit, which you can see here. This is the annual, same as the annual net profit above. It takes it and it divides it equally across 12 months, as if the person was taking the full amount of owner draw based on the net profit each month. And the reason that the spreadsheet calculates it this way is because it helps with making calculations about benefits in the section below, which we're going to talk about in the next module. But generally, people who are just starting businesses don't take their entire net profit and owner's draw. For one thing, they might not even know what their net profit's going to be yet. These are projections still. But especially early in the business, people need to build up a cushion, or they may want to be saving for additional equipment or supplies that will help them grow the business. And for Texas VR, having 3 months of operating capital is part of their closure criteria. So it's important that we help people build a cushion in their business account. And that's what I want to show you here. So here's the owner's draw, divided, net profit divided by 12. And an easy way to deal with this would be to just go in and change these numbers. But I can't do that because row 81 is white, which means those cells are locked and I can't edit them. And that's to prevent people from erasing the formulas in there. But what I can do is scroll up to the top of the cash flow document to the cash in section. The cash in part starts on line 49. And under that, you'll see various income going into the business, whether it's from sales or past money or VR funding. But on line 53, you'll see owner's cash infusion. And that's where we're going to focus today. You'll see that it's a yellow cell, which means I can edit here. I can manipulate that cell. So let's say that I've talked through this with Bridget, and she's agreed to only take a $500 owner's draw for the first 6 months of business operation. So that gives her some additional income from her work, but it also leaves more money in her business account. So if I go back down and look down here, the owner's draw that it's showing is $940 a month. But if she's only going to take $500 for the first 6 months, I can basically redeposit $440 each month into her business account. And so I'm going to spread that across the first 6 months from January to June. And it's not really that she's taking it all out and redepositing it. It's just that she's only taking out $500 instead of the $940. So to make the ending cash correct, I need to add that back in. And by doing that, I'm going to scroll down again to ending cash. You'll see that Bridget is now cash flow positive. Yay! And she's accumulating operating cash in her business account that will help her reach the successful closure for VR. Now, where this is really super important is when somebody starts their business mid-year, because the VR 1805 spreadsheet will still take their net profit and divide it equally over the 12 months, even if they didn't start their business until July. So in that case, you'll want to take this full owner's draw that's here and add it back in above for the months prior to business launch. And I know that probably seems confusing, and don't worry, when you get to that phase, we'll help you with this. But I just wanted to make you aware of it and give you an opportunity to try playing with your practice spreadsheet so you get the feel of it. So you'll just see how it takes the owner's draw, divides it by 12 evenly, but you can manipulate that by putting back in whatever the person doesn't take out in owner's draw. Thanks. Get a hold of me if you have any questions. Bye-bye.